rest of the second half, so Hudson will receive the ball. Jake Goodman will get us underway. Marvin and Burgess await at the 5. Straight on kick is angled toward Burgess. He'll retreat from the 5-yard line. Burgess to the 15, to the 20, runs through a tackle, gets to about the 25 before he's swarmed over and pushed back. 20-yard return. 1st and 10 Raiders from the 25.
That being Andre Burgess, not very big, 5'8", 160. He's part of the outside fret. He and Jager Marvin with Aaron Squires in the middle. Traditionally, through the first 4 games, we've seen the Hudson Raiders deploy basically a quarterback rotation in the form of Max Stubendick, the classic option quarterback. He checks in at 5'9", 150. He's a junior. And then more the bigger guy inclined to passing, Kaiser Helterbrand. He sits at 6 foot, about 200 pounds, only a sophomore. You'll see a rotation between those 2 quarterbacks tonight.
Stubendick out of the pistol, runs the option. It's the pitch to Burgess. Trying to get to the outside, but very well played on the near side. Burgess does gain 2, but great defense on the outside by John Gager takes him down.
Well, and it's so odd. You talked about Menomonie getting lit up for 45 points by a Greendale team that's also highly ranked in Division II as well. That's just not something you've seen in the last 20 years. So, I think potentially Hudson has an opportunity to put up some points tonight.
Jake Goodman on that last tackle as Squires gets his first carry. Nothing fancy there, and a nice hole out across the 30 to the 31. That's a gain of 4, sets up 3rd and 4 for the Raiders.
Well, it's all about converting those 3rd downs, moving the chains, maintaining possession here. And on 3rd and 4, you could go either way. You could keep it on the ground. Hudson primarily is a run first, pass second attack. We'll see what they do here.
Marvin in motion will reset. Receiver right is Berg, to the near side, Newell. Marvin in motion again, takes the pitch. Marvin cuts back up into the middle, is hit at the line of scrimmage, drives ahead for a gain of 1, maybe 2, but well shy of the first down. Give him a yard. It's 4th and 3, and the punt unit comes on for Hudson.
Excellent shift that time by the Menomonie defense. Hudson on those kind of pitch plays and jet sweeps have been consistently getting 7, 8, 9 yards a crack, sometimes more. Menomonie defensively shuts it down, and Hudson goes 3 and out in their first offensive possession of the night.
Devin Dalton on to kick it away for Hudson. Back deep to receive it for Menomonie. Rhett Sheehan on the far side, or near side rather. Jake Goodman on the far side. High snap. Dalton gets it down and hits a high knuckleball. Sheehan calls for the fair catch and then kind of has to dive out for it. Good field position here for Menomonie. 1st and 10 from their 40. We've got exactly 10 minutes left to play here in the opening quarter.
Checking on the MSBN Sports Network tonight, a busy Friday night as we always are in the month of September. 19 football games on the network tonight. Minnesota, Wisconsin, our radio affiliate coverages in addition to our MSBN produced events. Check it out, msbnsports.net, and keep those emails coming in. Very easy to do. Click on the email us link on your game tracker screen. Let us know who you are, where you're listening from, who you're cheering for today, and as always, glad to have you on board.
And we get some whistles, and it looks like we've got an issue with the chain gang on the far side. We talked about Jace Labuda running this offense, but the one that we have kind of overlooked to this point, John, is Mitchell Weber, the senior co-captain running back, averaging nearly 150 yards a contest on the ground, provides a nice complement to the air attack that Menomonie has really shown this season. So a good test for this Hudson defense. Of course, kind of had that run pass from Superior last year. They like to spread it out, and Hudson responded very well, specifically in the second half last week.
Well, they did. The first half was a very clunky half for both teams, but I felt in the second half the Hudson run game came to life, and the defense really rose to the occasion as well. Cole Goodball is going to be key in this one.
Power eye, and this is Weber, and Weber follows that power eye and pushes it into Hudson territory. A gain of 11 in the game's first down.
Pretty good start. Now that's classic Menomonie football right there. Power between the tackles there, physical play up front, and Hudson's defensive line has been outstanding containing the run thus far. Even against the big timers, Arrowhead, they bottled them up pretty good. They maintained Greenfield, and so this is a good defensive unit. They'll be tested tonight. This Menomonie team can put up points.
Again, the power eye to the right. Hard count from Labuda. Again, the little quick pitch. Weber finds his seam and is taken down by the ankles by Spencer Schmidt, but a gain of 8.
Pretty good solid running and opening to open the game here by Menomonie, driving into Hudson territory. Very good starting field position coming off that punt as Hudson went 3 and out in their opening.
You know, it's really just an extended handoff, but that pitch back to Weber just kind of allows him to take a look and try to find the lane that he's going to run through. And boy, right now they're putting a lot of bodies on the right side. Now they'll spread it out, 2 receivers to the left. Handoff Weber right up the middle. First down and more. Cuts it to 35. Tries to spin away. Taken down by Schmidt, but another big run. Another Menomonie first down. That's a gain of 12.
This has been the Mitch Weber show. 5'10", 192-pound senior. And the offensive line of Menomonie is opening up big holes. Something we haven't seen really done on the Hudson defense thus far with the first 4 games.
Weber gets a break after carrying on the first 3 plays here for Menomonie. Replaced by Justin Evans. Evans, the second leading rusher on the squad. He's the tailback in the formation. Again, 2 receivers left. Handoff Evans. Evans up the middle is hit, and Schindler kind of stopped his progress. A gain of 2, maybe 3 on the play.
Isaac Schindler on the stop there. Cole Goodball in the neighborhood as well. 2 big boys. Goodball goes 230 and Schindler goes 250. It's almost 500 pounds of young men there on that defensive line.
Again, Evans is the tailback. Again, he'll get the call off the right side and diving in. Good ball. Got him around the ankles and drops him for a short gain. Diving out across the 25 down to the 23. A gain of 3.
I think Cole Goodball really came into his own against Superior. He had an outstanding game, particularly in the second half against a good Superior team on the road, Superior team that came in ranked, and Hudson defensively really shut him down in that second half.
3rd and 5. Goodman splits wide to the left. Couple receivers that way with him. Labuda looks that way the whole time. Throws, has his man wide open. It's Sheehan on the reception, and he's got another Menomonie first down. Colander the stop, but a gain of 8 moves the chains for Menomonie.
Well, that all-important 3rd down conversion, and Menomonie going to the air. Joe, you spoke about Jace Labuda's outstanding passing numbers coming into this game, and now Menomonie in the red zone on their opening possession.
Still Evans as the tailback. Handoff. Tries the left side. He's got some room to run there. He's inside the 10. And near a first down run for Evans.
Well, this Menomonie team is doing something that the 4 teams prior have not done, and that's they're winning the line of scrimmage battle against Hudson. They're opening up the running lanes and going right through it.
It was a gain of 10. It is 1st and goal, Mustangs. Weber back in as the tailback. Again, that power set to the right. Handoff Weber off the left side. Up the middle, he's in. Touchdown, Menomonie.
Joe, that was an impressive Menomonie Mustangs opening drive, primarily on the ground. They did go to the air once to convert a 3rd down, but very, very impressive. Again, this is a team that's averaging, what is it, 40?
Yeah, 44 or something.
40 points and change here in their first 4 games of the season, and we can see why. Good drive.
Chase Labuda will try to tack on the extra point, and everything they did was successful on the opening drive. Was it for the Mustangs? Low snap, but set down, and Labuda's kick is good. 7:06 to play, opening quarter. Menomonie 7, Hudson nothing. 4 carries, 37 yards, a touchdown for Mitch Weber. Labuda 1 for 1, throwing the ball. Really didn't have to, and wow. That's
well,
a nice statement for Menomonie.
The line of scrimmage was outstanding. You know, when you're getting 7-8 yards a pop, sometimes more, against this Hudson defensive line that has been very, very stout. I think some changes will probably need to be made if you bring a couple linebackers up, but then potentially you're susceptible to the pass. I know for a fact all week long Hudson's been preparing for the pass. I mean, the numbers certainly indicate that, but Menomonie going primarily with the ground attack, with the exception of the one pass, and doing it very successfully, and have drawn first blood here tonight.
So again, Goodman set to kick it away. Straight on kicker, that is not something you really see anymore, so it's kind of interesting to see that. End over end, right down the middle line drive, knocked down, picked up by Burgess at the 7, up the middle of the field, has a tiny seam, and Burgess will get dragged down at the 26. 19-yard return, 1st and 10, Raiders from the 26-yard line.
First email of the night on the MSBN email bag. Again, love to hear from you. This one coming in from Andy Allison. This is Coach Allison here, wide receivers coach at Bemidji State University, tuning in to watch the Hudson game. Big shout out to Coach Nate Kirkpatrick of Hudson. Good luck, great job on the webcast, guys. And he says, go Beavers. That's up there in Bemidji State, and also go Raiders.
Well, we'll see if the offense can answer what the Mustangs did on their opening drive. As Burgess comes in motion, a little counter play, and Marvin is gobbled up at the line of scrimmage, maybe even lost a yard, 2nd and long coming.
Kind of an interesting play there. Primarily, they've been running Squires on that play, the much bigger fullback. And Hudson's still going to the line very quickly, kind of that almost hurry-up, no-huddle offense.
Receivers each way. Again, Burgess in motion. The pitch will come to him. And Burgess to the 25, kind of gets cartwheeled down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 2, and it's 3rd and 9 Raiders.
Joe, we're very early on here tonight, but this Hudson Raider team is in for a fight tonight. This Menomonie team is coming in fired up and playing very, very well.
They are dominating the line of scrimmage thus far and just appear to be the faster team right now. Burgess splits out into the slot, now going in that direction, as well as Danielson looking to throw. Stubendick dumped over the middle, intercepted by Weber, and Weber will turn it back to the Hudson 20-yard line.
Well, going to the air on 3rd down after the 2 running plays were stopped, and very opportunistic defense for Menomonie. We have our first turnover of the game. Again, as I mentioned, I think turnovers are going to be very big, and now the Hudson defense, it's already been scored on once, with their back to the wall, as Menomonie starting in very, very good field position on the 21.
Logan Nelson on the tackle of Weber on that interception return, and this is not the script that Hudson would have preferred to start the evening.
No, and you know, they had first half troubles last week against Superior. We spoke to that in the pregame show, and really had a hard time getting that offense going, and it's happened again here in the first 2 drives. Now it's up for the defense to draw the line in the sand and keep Menomonie out of the end zone.
Handoff, Evans hit by Goodbow and a drag down inside the 20.
Looks like Goodbow and Schindler were both in there.
Gain of 3 on the play.
Of course, our halftime, we're going to feature the band. I got some band news I want to pass along. The Hudson Marching Band is going to Pearl Harbor, going to Hawaii over December to be part of the 75th anniversary of Pearl Harbor. More on that at halftime. Very exciting news.
Indeed. Special trip. Weber back in. He's got some room off the left side, cuts it back up the middle, and Weber is very close to a Menomonie first down.
Tackled by number 95.
That offensive line of Menomonie right now is outworking Hudson. It's as clear as a bell right now.
It is a first down run, and the nose of the ball just outside the 10-yard line, so not first and goal, but it may as well be.
First and 10.
Handoff. And this time it's Winter on the carry. Winter off the left side, down to the 4-3 down to the 7-yard line. 2nd down from there.
And again, Joe, a beautiful night for football. The rain that had been forecast on and off all week has held off. We got some clouds in the distance, but I think we got clear sailing here, and right in the thick of the Big Rivers Conference season. 2 ranked teams going at it in the final season of Newton Field here in Hudson.
Goodman splits out wide left. Weber, they'll run the sweep coming near side toward the corner, diving and in. Touchdown. That's Evans on a 7-yard scamper to the end zone. It's 13-0 Menomonie.
Well, I'll tell you what, you want to talk about Menomonie Mustangs coming in here focused and ready to roll. They're seeing it. Hudson finding themselves down an extra point away from being down 2 scores. And I'm a little bit in shock right now, and I'm sure that on that Hudson sideline they are as well.
Yeah, I was just going to say that right now they do not have an answer for anything that Menomonie's doing. Labuda, soccer-style kicker on to attempt the extra point. Out of the hold of Donoski.
Kick is up and good.
And it is good.
4 minutes,
We've got
30
4:32
seconds
left to play in the
left
first quarter. Your score, Menomonie 14, Hudson nothing.
Well, Joe, I want to go back to in talking about this storied rivalry, you know, and Hudson had that winning streak. Menomonie got back in the win column last year. We talked about Menomonie's prowess during the 27-year tenure of Coach Joe Labuda. Coach Adam Weber's had an equally impressive run, not as long. He came in here in 06, but you know, right now, Menomonie's controlling the game. They're controlling the tempo. They have all the momentum right now. And, you know, Menomonie brought a big crowd across the way there. Hudson has to get back to that home field advantage. You know, the packed stands and get people fired up and get that offense going.
Yeah, they just need a little spark here because right now neither side of the ball is going very well for the Raiders. And credit Menomonie for that.
Yes.
Goodman line drive kick again right down the middle. Again, Burgess, this time from the 8, right up the middle of the field, picks his way out across the 25, bounces it out to the near side, and is spun down at the 33-yard line. Making the initial hit that time was Kevin Perkins, and then it was Owen Winter finishing the job. 26-yard return.
And that's what they need with Burgess. You know, some kind of a spark, whether it's a big, you know, kickoff return. You got good field position, not great, but up past the 30 and about the 34-yard line. I think for Hudson, the key is right now maintain your composure. Don't panic. We got a lot of football here to go. We know this. We know what this offense can do. Get back to playing Hudson Raider football and move the ball.
Stubendick, the quarterback, as he has been the whole time. Marvin in motion, takes the jet sweep, trying to get to the corner, turns up, and he is strung out and tripped up after a short gain. Give him 2 on the carry, 2nd and 8, Hudson.
Here's what's happening right now. Unlike the 4 previous opponents, I said this before, I'll say it again. Hudson has been consistently getting 6, 7, 8 yards on those jet sweeps, but Menomonie's defense is fast to shift and aggressively attacking the ball, cutting off the lane and limiting it to 2 or 3 yards instead of 7 or 8.
Burgess in motion, wanting to throw. Stubendick forced out of the pocket, throws under duress, and it's incomplete. Diving attempt there by Newell, just couldn't hang on to it. And 3rd and 8 coming up.
And the Menomonie defense is dictating tempo right now. Hudson offensively is reacting to what Menomonie is doing defensively. It's instead of the other way around. They got to reverse that.
You know, we saw it in Superior. 5 of those players played both ways. A lot of these Mustang players going both ways here tonight as well. Handoff up the middle. Squires were trying to reach out for that first down. Going to be close, John.
Well, and Aaron Squires is the key. You know, he had an outstanding game against Superior. You know, probably the best game of the season. He got that first down by, you know, the nose of the football there, and that's probably the first positive thing we've seen happen to Hudson tonight. I think they're going to have to go to a steady dose of Aaron Squires here. Menomonie's shutting down those outside runs.
Well, their 2 most successful plays have been Aaron Squires' runs, and he gets it again. He's hitting the backfield, ran through that, and then pushes his way to midfield and into Menomonie territory by the football. Gain of 6 for Squires.
Well, there it is. That's the strategy change right now. Until Menomonie can bring the linebackers in between the tackles, and you go back to the outside runs. I'm sure that's probably the thinking here.
Tightly packed, the pitch comes Burgess, and he is hit by Goodman in the backfield, and then a host of white players come in and finish the job. Loss on the play is 3 yards, brings up 3rd and 7 Raiders.
Well, if that's going to work tonight against this fast Menomonie defense, Hudson has to run it faster. That play has to develop quicker against a quicker Menomonie defense. It's that simple.
Burgess splits out into the slot. Marvin in motion to the far side, looking to set up the screen. It's Squires out of the backfield, down the sideline. He's got a first down, cuts back at the 40 to the 35, and taken down at the Menomonie 30-yard line. The ball came out. Menomonie says they've got it. The referee is saying no, he was down, and it will remain Hudson football, I believe.
Boy, and Squires got hit hard. The helmet came off, and he's getting up slowly, and that's going to be tough. He's going to come off. I think he landed on the ball, maybe got the wind knocked out of him, but he's clicking on all cylinders so far.
That covers 23 yards. It's the first down Hudson at the Menomonie 30-yard line. A much-needed big play from the Hudson offense. Newell inside Berg on the far side. Counterplay Burgess, and Burgess tries to reach back to the line of scrimmage, fails to do so. Small loss, 2nd and long.
It's hard to believe, quite frankly, from what I'm seeing. And again, scores are deceptive, particularly in high school football. How on earth did this defense, the way they're playing right now, give up 45 points? How on earth? This is a good Hudson offense. And I think Hudson's going to start getting it together now.
Option play. Stubendick keeps and nowhere to go. Dives ahead. Back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. 3rd and 11 coming for Hudson.
Got our first score update of the night from MSBN Score Central. Superior with an early 7-0 lead over Chippewa Falls. That one in Chippewa Falls, DeRay Field, with the end of the first quarter over there. Chippewa Falls undefeated so far in conference play.
Straight drop. Stubendick looks, throws intended for Newell. He comes down with it. Gets away from Goodman down the sideline, and he is in. Touchdown, Hudson!
Well, the stone wall that has been the Menomonie defense has just been broken as the Hudson Raiders crack through the end zone.
Boy, good coverage that time from Goodman, and he slipped, and Newell made him pay for it. Just stiff-armed him out of the way, sprints down the sideline to put the Raiders on the board.
It was defensive pass interference, in my opinion, but it's irrelevant anyway because he caught it, and 6 points to the Hudson. And the Hudson bleacher creatures with the flags are out in force, and this capacity home crowd is in the game.
Kaiser Helterbrand knocks the extra point through. We've got 1:22 left to play in the opening quarter. Your new score, Menomonie 14, Hudson 7.
Again, we want to invite our viewers to email us here up in the booth. Had some wonderful emails the first 4 games. We got a couple hundred emails from here, there, and everywhere, and that's always a fun thing to do on these webcasts. We know we've got a lot of people tuned in. I've heard a lot of good compliments around town with a lot of excitement again about this Hudson football team. Ranked number 4 in the state Division I, 4-0, coming off big wins on the road against Superior, big win on the road against Heartland Arrowhead in non-conference play. Started the year with good, and had a huge win over a clearly outmanned Eau Claire North team here a couple weeks ago. This is the biggest test thus far, in my opinion, against a traditional powerhouse in the form of the Menomonie Mustangs. These are the games I think that you live for. The non-conference games are great. The Arrowhead game was phenomenal, and that was such a pleasure to be, see Hudson finally knock off Heartland. But these conference rivalry games are what it's all about, and this atmosphere is tremendous tonight.
Parker Polane has the ball on the tee. He'll kick it back to Menomonie. High end over end, going to be fielded by an up man at the 15. Looking for some room to run. Reversing course was Ben Newman, and he gets swallowed up shy of the 20.
If you can kind of imagine momentum being like a pendulum in a clock, and it's been tilting all the way to Menomonie to open this game. When Hudson put that 6 points up, the pendulum of momentum swinging back to Hudson. It'll go back and forth all night. We got a capacity crowd here for Hudson. Menomonie brings a great crowd. They always travel so well, and they got such a great fan base, such a winning tradition over there. And I don't know how many people we have here in the field tonight. It's a lot.
Looking around, and there's not a parking spot anywhere around the school. Handoff up the middle, and perhaps that spark translates to the defense as well. Parker Polane on the stop after a gain of 2.
And Parker Poling's a name we've been calling a lot here, and one of the key members of the defense, along with Dominic Sidimbenko. We talked about Cole Goodbow. Jake Danielson also a part as well. Spencer Schmidt been in on several tackles.
Goodman and Sheehan split wide near side, hand off Weber, and he's hitting the backfield and taken down at the line of scrimmage. First one in that time was Spencer Schmidt.
Well, here it is. We're 3rd and 8, and if Hudson can stop them here, as time ticking down here in the first quarter, they potentially are going to get some decent field position. But Hudson has had a susceptibility this season through the air primarily on 3rd and long situations, and I would call 3rd and long anything 3rd and 6 and more. And I think I can just about guarantee you Hudson's going to go to the air here. We're just going to let the clock run out and think about it.
The clock runs down to 0 as we are through a quarter here in Hudson. It's the Menomonie Mustangs 14 and the Hudson Raiders 7 as you watch high school football on MSBN.
It's a good game.
Yeah, it just got a lot better.
We were getting steamrolled that first 2 series, and we still might. I haven't seen it this year, this happen.
Great teammate, great student. He also has an Menomonie connection. He's a student at UW Scout. We cheer him on in football, and I just want to take the time to ask you to cheer him on now. He's
Bring it back after this.
Okay.
Yeah, I found out about that. My son's daycare teacher's daughter is in the band, and so I got some information I want to pump. They're doing a fundraiser this weekend. I want to pump that. And
cool.
And gosh, I got a couple kids I go to church with. They're in the band. The band works hard. I've been watching them practice. They're not out there screwing around. It's
As we come back to Hudson, Menomonie facing 3rd and 7. They send trips to the near side out of the gun this time. Labuda, the little delay right up the middle and a lot of room. Evans a first down and a whole lot more. Spins off a man at the 40, taken down at the 44. That's a gain of 23 and a Menomonie first down.
Well, there was some Hudson hitting, but there was no wrapping on that play. Alex Colander put a good hit out, but he didn't wrap. Menomonie unexpectedly an excellent play call. Excellent play call, going to the ground. And everybody was expecting him to go to the air with success.
Menomonie's only put it in the air once, and that was way back on the opening drive. And again, they spread it out. They will put it in the air this time. Labuda with time guns it out right side, and making a great sprawling catch on the far side is Goodman. That's good for 7. Pass was behind him. Boy, Goodman showed some great athleticism to haul that one in.
Jake Goodman used all of his 6-foot frame. He's a senior, 173 pounds, 6 foot, number 19. Was that Lance Allworth's number? It was, I think. Number 19 from a bygone day. I could be wrong.
That's back a ways. I think you're right. I think it was 19.
Yeah. Long time ago.
I formation. The deep back, Weber. Off the right side, spins ahead for a first down across the 45, down to the 43-yard line. Gain of 5 for Weber on his 8th carry of the night.
Tremendous job by this Menomonie offensive line. They are they're outworking Hudson right now. And a big Hudson line, a big Hudson defensive line, and very talented.
Already 8 first downs for Menomonie as they pitch at Weber, looking for a slot to run.
Much better.
Gets to the 41 before he's driven backwards, gain of 2.
Malcolm Kowalowski, among others, in on the stop that time, and much better job containing Weber on that play.
Jake Danielson in on that one as well. One of the few times we haven't seen the Menomonie offensive line get a 3-4 yard push downfield. As again, trips right. Labuda with time over the middle has his man. Looking for some room to run is Donoski. Donoski's got a first down, still on his feet, and finally stood up at the 27-yard line. 15 yards and Menomonie first down.
Again, we're not wrapping. We're hitting, but we're not wrapping. I've seen it, several times now. Good pass. Good protection.
Yeah, great protection. He had all the time in the world. It's tough to cover the receivers for that amount of time, and Donoski found the slot. Dalton eventually makes the stop.
Another score coming in from MSBN Score Center. Eau Claire Memorial with an early 7-0 lead over River Falls that late in the first quarter.
Handoff for Evans, and Evans kind of ran into the back of his tackle that time, big Alex Fenton. And Fenton is a large guy, John, 6'5", 282.
That's a lot of double-stuffed Oreos.
Gain of 3 for Evans, brings up 2nd and 7.
I could go for some. We do have donuts or bagels up here, but I like double-stuffed Oreos better.
And a timeout taken by Joe Labuda and the Mustangs. That stops the clock with 9:24 to play in the first half. 14-7 Mustangs, and they're driving again in Hudson territory. 2nd and 7 at the Raider 29-yard line.
Still looking to get the MSBN email bag opened up here. We've had such tremendous emails here. We know we got a lot of you on tonight. Shoot us an email. Very easy to do. Click on the Email Us link on your game tracker screen. You can let us know who you are, where you're listening from, who you're cheering for tonight. I think up against Superior, I did kind of a spot check on the receiver report. We had, 17, 18 different states, and it's always fun to see not just how many people are tuning in, a lot of people are tuning in, but just where they're tuning in from. I mean, a lot of local viewers, but also viewers abroad as well. And I think they're running this game over in Menomonie at a couple establishments tonight also, as they have done in past years. The great fan following of the Menomonie Mustangs. And, of course, I know Terry Miller, part of the MSBN crew. I think he's here somewhere. I haven't seen him tonight, but his son Andy was a star for Menomonie and some great teams back a number of years ago.
Trips to the left, Labuda again. It's the delayed handoff again. A huge hole and a first down run. Evans is inside the 10 and down to the 6. It's 1st and goal. Mustangs, another gain of 23. They've run that play twice on the drive, John, both times for 23 yards.
Well, Justin Evans runs with such a head of steam. 5'10", 202. He's a load. It's a low center of gravity and squaring his shoulders. And once again, a big hole for him to run through.
1st and goal, Weber back in for the Mustangs. He gets the carry, leaps over the line of scrimmage, and he's inside the 5. Down to the 3. He got about halfway there. 2nd and goal coming.
Of course, this the farewell season of historic Newton Field. New field to be constructed at the Hudson School District as part of a referendum that passed through last November. A great big thank you to everyone here in the Hudson community that voted that in. I proudly voted yes for it. They haven't started construction on it, but hopefully it's supposed to be done. I guess we'll see, but we'll see next fall.
Handoff Weber and hit as he got to the line of scrimmage. Falls ahead to the 2, a gain of a yard. Goodbow with the tackle. 3rd and goal from the 2 for Menomonie.
Getting a score update on Hudson's opponent next week. The Rice Lake Warriors all over the Eau Claire North Huskies, 21-0. 10 minutes to go in the second quarter on that one. Rice Lakes has a fine team as well. They've been in a pretty outstanding run themselves in recent years.
Handoff up the middle to
didn't
the
get
goal line. No indication. And it'll be 4th and goal for the Mustangs.
And decision time for Coach Joe Labuda, sitting on a 7-point lead.
The back side of the ball touches the 1-yard line. So 4th and goal from inside the 1. Mustangs keep the offense on the field.
And the Hudson fans on their feet cheering on the defense to draw the line in the sand.
And they set up the power to the left side. Weber, the deep tailback, and timeout, Menomonie. Their second. Coupled with 7:09 left to play, facing 4th and goal from inside the 1, leading, as John said, by 7.
This one coming in from the Iversons, says cheering for our neighbor Bryce Marion. He says, love the Sox, go Raiders. Let's keep those emails coming in. Yeah, Newton Field here is kind of having a season-long celebration of its history here in the Hudson communities. They had some great teams and some great games. built in 1961. They did not play on it in 62. They had to resod it, and they went back to their old field for 62, but then returned to stay for good in 63 and have been here ever since. And, of course, a lot of great players, and Hudson and opponents have graced the grass here of Newton Field. Big play coming up.
Again, the power formation left, handoff. Weber dives, he's in, touchdown. Mustangs, second of the night for Weber. It's 20-7.
Well, gutsy call by the Menomonie Mustangs, and it's just you know, we're not going to be fancy here. We're coming straight at you. Hudson knows what's coming. They got a big defensive line, and the Menomonie Mustangs got the only needed a yard. They got it, and they're an extra point away from a 2-touchdown lead.
And again, Jace Labuda will attempt to tack on that extra point. Danoski, the holder. Low snap. Labuda picks it up, just throws it into the end zone. It's knocked down. Oh, is it almost caught there on the rebound? But it does fall incomplete, so the conversion, no good. And it remains Menomonie 20, Hudson 7, 7:07 left to play in the half.
Well, we talked about the intangibles. We've seen a couple of them here. The Hudson turnover deep in their own territory, the interception, which Menomonie capitalized on to go up 14-0. That was the first one. This is another one right here, a special teams situation, a missed extra point in a close game between two evenly matched teams. Those are the variables. You know, I say that over and over again. You know, when one team's the North game, for example, one team is significantly better than the other, which was clear right from the start. You know, those things don't play in as much, but in these evenly matched games, that's a lot of times that's what'll swing it. I think we might be in for a shootout here tonight.
Definitely could be one of those that who has the ball last.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, we talked about Menomonie averaging over 40 points a game. You know, Hudson's
yeah.
averages nearly 40 points a game. This squib kick goes out of bounds. Kind of hit that time by Goodman. And Riddles will start 1st and 10 from the 35 following the procedure penalty. And actually, John, that is the first flag that's flown here tonight.
Yeah, it is. It's been a clean game, a hard-hitting physical game, which we knew it would be. Got my my father, Victor Weckett, emailing in. He was with us in the booth last week. Enjoyed having him on board. We do that once a season. And he's watching up in Eau Claire Lakes, north of Hayward, from probably the computer room. Enjoying the game. I talked to him very briefly earlier today. Game days for me are, you know, like 16-hour days, kind of here, there, and everywhere, and we kind of have to, without going into details, kind of jerry-rig things here at Old Newton Field to make this work, which we do, and glad to hear from my father, Victor.
Stubendick remains in at quarterback. 1st and 10 Raiders from the 35. Marvin in motion, handoff Squires. No, they'll pitch back. It's on the ground. Marvin has to pick it up and just get what he can. He runs out of bounds for a loss on the play. Loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12.
Of course, some of their games on the MSBN network tonight. The Rosemont Irish taking on the UCO Lightning. That's always a big game over there in the South Suburban. The Park Wolfpack taking on the St. Thomas Academy Cadets. The Cadets had a close win last week. 19 games on the network on this busy Friday night.
Straight drop, Stubendick flares it out. Marvin trying to pound his way ahead. Gains 3 out to the 36. It'll be 3rd and 9.
This speedy Menomonie defense has completely neutralized, thus far, Hudson's speed. They really have.
Yeah.
They're shifting well. They're attacking the football well. Their sets are very good, and they're just stopping them.
Hilterbrand in at quarterback, looks, throws deep down the middle. It's up for grabs and incomplete. Trying to fight his way to it was Berg, but well defended that time by Owen Winter. 4th and 9, and the punt unit comes on the field.
Well, the momentum that Hudson had established when they closed the gap to 14-7, again, kind of pictured as a pendulum, has now swung back to Menomonie as they've opened up the lead now to 13 points. And Hudson 3 and out. Hudson needs a good punt and a good defensive stand here. This game's going to start to get away from him. 6:25 to go in the second.
Dalton to punt it away. Good high kick, calling for the fair catch. Sheehan takes it at his 35-yard line. 29-yard punt, no return. Good field position once again for the Mustangs. 1st and 10 from their 35, and Hudson needs a stop here defensively, John.
Well, they do. The defensive line has to start winning the battle of the line of scrimmage. We talked about the field position battle, the turnover battle. The battle for the line of scrimmage is also imperative as well. And I tell you what, if it was a boxing match, the judges would be awarding it to the Menomonie Mustangs right now. And Hudson has to reverse that trend, get 3 and out, get the ball back.
Kind of an empty backfield. Labuda swings it out, catching it on the run and coming ahead, and then getting pounded on the big hit delivered by Schmidt. That was Evans on the reception, and it is good for 10 and a Menomonie 1st down.
Spencer Schmidt with the Chuck Cecil hit on that one. Unfortunately, the gain was pretty significant by that point anyway. If anybody remembers Chuck Cecil from the Green Bay Packers, a heavy hitter, and I think he ended up having neck problems and had to retire early primarily because of the, of course nowadays he'd probably get, thrown out of the game for targeting or helmet to helmet or whatever. Big physical play.
Yeah, some of those fines that are getting handed down or something else.
Yep.
Little misdirection. It ends up with Evans off the right side. He's got room to run. He's loose. Evans to the 40, 35, chased by Dalton and taken down at the 27, 28-yard line. Gain of 27 yards for Evans, who's ripped off 3 huge runs here in the 1st half.
This one coming in from Steve. He says, go Menomonie from Camp Lominaire in Africa. He says, go Navy too. So obviously Steve's a Navy guy tuning in tonight. Got some Menomonie people on board as well. And again, this Hudson Raider team, ranked number 4 in the state, Division I, 4-0 coming in, find themselves in a 13-point deficit at home.
That 27-yard scamper puts Evans over 100 on the night as Weber gashes through the middle and down to the 20 for a gain of 8. He's carried 14 times now tonight.
Physical running. I mean, just pedal down, head down, shoulders squared. The offensive line just winning the line of scrimmage. And somebody out there, a captain, somebody is going to have to start rallying this defense because they're getting lit up right now.
68 yards rushing for Weber as he carries for the 15th time, and this time he is caught and dragged down. Josh Fry with the tackle. No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Well, here you're probably in 4-down territory at this point. You're always speculating in high school as to the prowess of the kicking game. Some teams have excellent kicking games. Some teams have no kicking games, particularly the smaller schools. I've seen games between 2 smaller schools where they just don't have a kicker. They go for 2 points every time because they don't have a kicker. And a field goal is completely out of the question.
Handoff Weber to the right side. Cuts it back up the middle, has a 1st down as he dives down to the 15-yard line. Gain of 5, fresh set of downs for Menomonie.
Power football. Menomonie's playing power football right now. They're going to the air. They're having success through the air. They're mixing it up, but primarily it's power football. This running attack is potent. Hudson needs a turnover.
You look down, there has not been a negative play run by this Menomonie offense. Everything has gained yardage. They are 4 for 4 passing as they swing it out. This is Sheehan weaving his way inside the 10, trying to run out of the tackles and finally taken down. They'll mark it at the 9.
We got some laundry on the field here, and it came in kind of late, and I don't know if it's a hold or a face mask. We're going to sort it out there.
I'm going to guess hold, and that's what the indication is.
That's a break for Hudson. So I'm going to reach for my second cup of coffee here.
10 yards from the spot of the foul. They'll move it back to the 23-yard line. It remains 1st down. Now 1st and 17. .350 to play in the opening half. Labuda, again the delay, again a huge hole. And running, losing the ball and then gathering it back in that time was Evans. And Evans, a 14-yard romp inside the 10 to the 9. Will bring up 2nd and 3 for Menomonie.
Of course, Jace Labuda, the son of head coach Joe Labuda, been at the helm since 1989, very successful. Probably the all-time leader in wins in the Big Rivers Conference. I don't know who else it would be.
Evans, the tailback, gets the handoff, comes to the left side. He's hit by Danielson, falls ahead to the 5. That'll be another Menomonie first down. There's a lot of extracurriculars right at the whistle.
This is where the character of a football team has to come into play. Hudson is being outmuscled on their home field right now. They're 4-0, ranked number 4 in the state. You know, the conference title potentially could be decided here tonight, even though it's still September and there's a lot of football to go and whatnot. Somebody somewhere has to step up, get in somebody's face, get somebody fired up, and stop this Menomonie Mustang team.
Weber back in. He gets the handoff. Weber hit
There it
in
is.
the backfield. Knifing in was Dominic Sittenbeko to make the stop, a loss of a yard on the play. And I'll tell you, after that first drive, Weber's kind of been kept in check, but right now doing all the damage, Justin Evans averaging better than 10 yards a carry tonight.
Oh, yeah, I mean, and he's a load, like I say, 5'10", 180, pushing 200. That's, and if you got size like that and you're fundamentally sound and you can move, you're the package.
Pitch Weber with blocking in front, cuts back at the 5 to the goal line. He's in. 3rd of the night for Weber. This from 6 yards out. And Menomonie increases the lead.
Well, I'll tell you what, power football, and Weber is eating them up. We got to add this up here, Joe. I'm seeing numbers, and
78 yards rushing
78.
for Weber on 18 carries. That's
in half
less
of football.
Than half
Less than half. Boy, this has been all Menomonie. I'm surprised, not pleasantly, as a Hudson fan. Ooh! I felt that hit up here. Unfortunately, he was already into the end zone.
So the 2-point conversion makes up for the botched snap last time. 2:10 left to play in the opening half. 28-7 Menomonie. And that's 4 possessions for the Mustangs and 4 trips into the Hudson end zone tonight.
Well, and you talked about this with my dad during halftime. And the different scenario. Last week it was a 7-7 game, but Hudson was clearly not playing well. This is a Menomonie Mustang team that's playing well. And offensively, Hudson has, they had that one sustained drive that resulted in 7 points, but outside of that, they really haven't been able to get anything consistently going. They did have that turnover deep in their own territory, but defensively, they just have not been able to stop this Menomonie attack.
They have not. I mean, and, perhaps for a play here or a play there, but nothing with any consistency here tonight.
I think, to me, it starts with Aaron Squires. You get him going, and if you can consistently get him 6-7 yards a crack and they start creeping the linebackers into the box, maybe that outside stuff will start working better, and the combination, back and forth moves the ball.
Line drive kick, Burgess from his 8. Up the hash across the 20, 25. Trying to bounce it to the outside, but is taken down at the 28-yard line. 20-yard return. Burgess has been a bright spot, but too many kick returns, unfortunately.
Well, Burgess and Marvin, we haven't seen a lot of Marvin tonight. But, they're the speed guys.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things you mentioned, John, at the beginning was, and this was a key for Hudson, was control the football, win that time of possession. And I'll tell you what, right now, Menomonie is dominating that statistic. They have rushed 14 first downs in this half.
Oh, yeah.
Handoff,
There it
Squires
is.
has some room. The flag comes in. That will likely negate an 8-yard run for Aaron Squires.
Well, there's those penalties. You know, it's been a clean game for the most part. But that just kills your momentum. A real nice run. Excellent blocking. It's got to come back. Got a score update here in River Falls. 7-6 now. Down. Oakland Memorial up on River Falls 7-6. River Falls went for the 2-point conversion and it failed. So that one's a tight game there. River Falls really struggling this year, but definitely in the game against Memorial.
Third and final timeout taken by Menomonie here with 1:58 left to play in the half. After the penalty, 1st and 19 for Hudson. That's what they will face coming out of this third Menomonie timeout of the half. So they are without a timeout, not that they're likely going to want to use one here in the first half.
Well, even if Hudson could just get some sustained offense going, and maybe even if you don't get any points up, just some momentum going into halftime here, whether it's a long run and maybe even get yourself in. I mean, ultimately you want to put 7 points up and cut into this lead and go down 2 scores instead of 3, but even a position for a field goal, but just something positive going offensively to close out this first half.
1:58 on the clock. Hudson with all 3 of their timeouts. Hilterbrand is the quarterback. He's got 2 receivers, and now in motion to the far side is Burgess, making it 3. Coming back now is Burgess.
There's some confusion.
Now Burgess goes back in motion. Handoff, Squires avoids a man at the line of scrimmage out across the 20 to the 22-yard line, a gain of 4. 2nd and 15, clock continuing to run, down to 1:42. Again, Burgess in motion. Hilterbrand rolling, throws, and it was behind Burgess, incomplete. Stops the clock with 1:35 and brings up 3rd and 15.
Of course, Hudson, as we spoke earlier, employing a quarterback rotation. Kaiser Hilterbrand, the sophomore, much heralded sophomore, had an outstanding freshman year last year. He's a big kid, 6 foot, 195 pounds, only a sophomore.
Counter play. Cole Danielson on the carry, and he is dragged down. Nice tackle that time. Reading it all the way, staying home was Kevin Perkins for the Mustangs. A loss on the play brings up 4th and 16, and Dalton on to punt it away again.
Boy, that's not at all what Hudson wanted to end the half with on their last probably their last offensive possession of the half. Wow.
Dalton's kick. And again, Sheehan calls for the fair catch, makes it in Hudson territory at the 48-yard line. 58.1 seconds left in the half.
Over at Doré Field at Chippewa Falls, it's a defensive back and forth game with Superior 7-0 over the Chippewa Falls Cardinals at halftime in that one. Scores continuing to roll in. I want to thank my mother Mary for sending those in. She monitors the Twitter feeds and the various scores coming in, passes them along to us. It's all thanks to her that we have the access to all these scores, particularly the Big Rivers Conference scores are of great interest. And Joe, I think Menomonie's going to try. I don't think they're just going to take a knee here. I think they're going to go for it even more, open up a lead.
Yep, trip receivers to the right. Labuda in the pocket, guns it over the middle, and it is dropped by Goodman. The pass a little bit behind him, but off of his hands, incomplete.
Well, a catchable pass, and that definitely would have been about a 15 to 20-yard gain. He's got a good-looking arm. That came out of there like a shot.
Yeah, interesting with the diving catch behind him. He had to turn back for one earlier and let that one drop. Now 2 receivers to each side, 2nd and 10, 50 seconds left. They swing it out. Weber, one-on-one, runs through. No, got tripped up. Ooh, good open field tackle that time. Trying to pick up that number,
Yeah,
John.
I don't know if that was Spencer Schmidt or
Alec Colander, I believe, on the far side.
yeah, it was Alec Colander, 5'9", 145-pound junior defensive back. Good open field tackle, saving a lot of yards. If he was able to shirk that tackle, he had a lot of green in front of him.
So, yeah, Labuda 5 for 6 passing. He's thrown to 5 different receivers on those completions.
Outstanding.
3rd and 6. Throws. Goodman comes down with it and then fights his way toward the stick. He's tackled shy of the first down. It's going to be 4th and a yard. Clock will continue to run down under 35 seconds.
Well, Menomonie not content to go quietly into the night, sitting on a 3-touchdown lead. It's time ticking away here, but now they're faced with the 4th and 5, or 4th and, well, it's not 4th and 5, I can tell you that.
4th and it looks like less than a yard. And they're going to huddle it up. They may not even run a play here, John. 15 seconds.
Yeah, maybe they'll just run it out.
Instead, they go trips to the left. Goodman to the right. 5 seconds. They do run the play. Labuda going to throw it toward the end zone and launches it over everybody out of bounds, and that will do it for the end of the first half. It has been all Menomonie here at Newton Field. Your halftime score, Menomonie 28, Hudson 7. You're watching high school football on MSBN. On the far side, Goodman on the near side. They stand at about their 7, awaiting Parker Polling's kick. And we're underway in the second half. End over end kick. It'll be Goodman from his 9. Out to the 20. He's got a little seam. Goodman cuts back, and he's out over the 30 to the 34-yard line. 25-yard return. Polling helped make the tackle.
Of course, Principal Craig Schumacher was in here earlier, and such a great halftime show. And I want to talk about the band here. We didn't quite have time. At maybe between the 3rd and 4th quarter, we're going to talk about this again. The band going to the 75th anniversary of Pearl Harbor in December. They were selected of all the bands in the state of Wisconsin to attend this, and they're a big part of it. So hats off to everybody associated with the Hudson band. Obviously, you're doing something right and working very hard for such an honor as that.
Owen Winter, the tailback. Now they'll switch over into an I formation. Weber, the deep man. They fake to him. They hand it off to Winter on the misdirection over the right side, and Winter out across the 40. The ball comes loose at the end of the run, and it is Raider football.
That's exactly what the doctor ordered for the ailing Hudson Raiders, down 3 touchdowns as the Menomonie Mustangs cough it up on their first offensive possession, and now it's up to the Raider offense to capitalize.
And the Raiders start in great field position. They'll have it 1st and 10 at the Menomonie 43-yard line. We're just 16 seconds into the half, folks.
And I can tell you, knowing what I know about Joe Labuda, he's not a guy that sits on leads, believe me. It's not, we're going to play not to lose, but a big break for the Hudson Raiders to start the second half.
Hilterbrand in at quarterback, handoff. Squires right up the middle.
That's what
and
you
he
do.
powers across the 40 and down to the 37, a gain of 6.
That's the power football. Aaron Squires, a phenomenal game against Superior. To me, he won the game. He was the player of the game in my mind, particularly in that second half. And if he continues to have success, I'm convinced, at least at some level, that's going to open up the outside running, which the Menomonie defense completely shut down in the first half.
Handoff Squires, and that time
That
a
wasn't
late handoff, and that disrupted things. Squires brought down for no gain. It'll bring up 3rd and 5 for Hudson.
And I almost wonder, with Coach Cowles' consistency going for it on 4th, if we're in 4-down territory, you're down by 3 scores. Well, Hilterbrand trying to get, there's some confusion here. We're on the play clock.
Boy, a late pitch, Burgess, and Burgess will be taken down at the 35-yard line after the fake to Squires. That'll bring up 4th down. Let's call it 3.
Yep, we're going to go. To me, if you punt it here, that's throwing up the white flag, and Hudson's not going to throw up the white flag. Big play here, huge.
Hilterbrand shouts it out. Marvin in motion. They're going to throw for it. Helterbrand lofts it up, looking for Burgess in the double team, and it is incomplete. Nearly intercepted by Goodman. Burgess did a great job to get a couple of hands on it, but just couldn't haul it in with 2 white shirts on him.
I'm looking off to the west here. I thought I saw, looked like a lightning strike, and I hope it wasn't, because by WIA rules, if it is, you have to stop play. And we had that down in Madison in week 1, and maybe it was just something else. It's not predicted, but anyway, Hudson very disappointing, unable to capitalize on that turnover.
Hand off to the up man, and to the 40-yard line comes John Brogan on the carry. Brogan a gain of 4, brings up 2nd and 6.
Taking a look at the MSBN scoreboard, Eau Claire Memorial up 21-6 at halftime over the River Falls Wildcats. Superior, I guess this is a little bit surprising, in Chippewa Falls up 14-0 over the Cardinals.
I'm sure Superior looked at last week and they had a few corrections to
sure
make themselves. Handoff, Evans, and Evans runs into the defense and into Hudson territory to the 47-yard line, a gain of 13 yards. Evans, who had 119 in the first half alone, tacks on another first down here for the Mustangs.
Well, that's what they did in the first half, and with great success. And why change something that isn't working? And defensively, we got to see what Hudson changes up to respond.
Handoff this time, it's Weber, and Weber down the right side, and he's going to be near another Menomonie first down, and boy, outside of the fumble, Menomonie's picking right up where they left off.
Yeah, and that opened the door of opportunity, but it was slammed shut by the Menomonie defense as Hudson's offense, even going for it on 4th, was unable to capitalize on it.
2nd and a yard for the Mustangs, I formation, receiver right. Handoff, Weber again off the right side. First down, and then is punished at the 35-yard line. Textbook tackle that time by Ben Carls. But the chains do a move. Gain of 4 for Weber. Carry number 20 for Mitch Weber tonight.
Yeah, Menomonie racking up the yards on the ground, and with 12-minute quarters instead of 15. Your window of opportunity when you're down by 3 scores and Menomonie consistently getting the first downs, chewing up clock, begins to close.
Little pitch, Weber looking for his seam, kind of backs across the line of scrimmage and then is driven backwards, but he's down to the 31-yard line on a gain of 3.
Well, Chippewa Falls strikes back after being shut out so far, 2-yard touchdown. They've closed the gap against Superior to 14-7. The other undefeated team in the Big Rivers Conference, defending co-champs, the Cardinals, under longtime coach Chuck Rakovic. Superior trying to get back on the winning track after dropping last week's game at home against this Hudson team.
2nd and 7, fumbled snap, and Labuda quick to drop down on that and gather it in. Loss of 2 on the play, however, will bring up 3rd and 9 for the Mustangs.
Well, this is huge here too, and I don't know if they're in 4-down territory here, sitting on a 3-touchdown lead. The kicking game, they're probably out of field goal range, but Hudson, well, it's all a moot point unless Hudson can shut down this 3rd and long.
3 receivers left. Little delay, handoff again, and this time tripped up and crawling inside the 30 to the 29 was Evans. Boy, ankle tackle by Sittenbake brings up 4th and 5.
Well, here's our answer. It looks like Menomonie is going to go for it. I guess, you're inside the 30. You don't gain a heck of a lot with a punt, potentially, and you're out of field goal range. Huge play here.
Good news for Hudson is Evans went off the field, so he's not going to get the ball.
Yeah, what a game he's had.
3 receivers right, Labuda with time, guns it over the middle behind his receiver, and incomplete, intended for Goodman, and Hudson will take over on downs.
Okay, now the Hudson offense has got to do something with it here. They stopped Menomonie 4 and out. They had the turnover in the previous possession and much more favorable field position. We're not unable to do anything with it. You know, to me, we got 7:02 to left. You're down by 3 scores against a Menomonie team that are having a hard time stopping. If you're going to come back and win this game, you've got to get points on this possession. I don't see any other way around it.
7:02 left to play, quarter 3, 28-7 Menomonie. Option coming. Helterbrand keeps, runs through a tackle, dives ahead to the 40. That's a gain of 11 and a Hudson first down.
Well, there it is. And Kaiser Helterbrand, who's primarily more the passer, as we got a Menomonie Mustang banged up a little bit here. But we did see Helterbrand have a couple nice runs. And the rain has started here, Joe, up in the lights.
It has. Handoff right up the middle. Squires is taken down at the 44. That's a gain of 3, maybe 4 on the play. Nothing fancy there.
We had talked about, they talked about rain potentially, and it's coming down.
So perhaps that was a flash there, and
yeah,
slick ball. Helterbrand picks it up, trying to keep this play alive. Now turns into a runner and is going to, nearly got rid of that ball as he was wrapped up in the arms of big Alex Fenton, another of the two-way players for Menomonie. And the rain are really coming down.
Yeah, it's coming down in sheets right now.
Big loss on the play of 12. Helterbrand swings it out. Marvin tried to pick up a block. And a great play. Goodman took on the block, took on the runner, almost all at the same time. A loss of 1 on the play, and the punt unit comes on for Hudson.
And the Hudson offense, again, just was not able to do anything with it.
So Dalton on to punt again. He's been averaging just under 30 yards a kick. This time just a single setback. And it's Sheehan, and he gets away as flags fly. Good return out to the 48. We'll see if it comes back, though, with the flag.
Yeah, it looks like maybe a hold or a block in the back. Clip maybe or something like that. Want to say hello to Aaron Hack. Emailing in, says Josh Fry is a beast. Feed the beast. Go Raiders. That's his cousin from East Troy. Looks like Menomonie's going to be backed up a little bit here.
There's a hold during the return. They'll step that off from the 44, so Menomonie will start 1st and 10 from their 34-yard line. 5:07 to play, third quarter. 28-7 Mustangs. As the rain has opened up, and unfortunately, John, this isn't like baseball. We can't call this one.
No, it's the monsoon has just moved in, and I don't know if you can see it on our video. I think you can probably make it out. It's coming down big time right now.
It's good to be inside.
It is very good to be inside. Wow.
And it's got the crowd. This is as fired up as the crowd has been.
Yes, it is.
As the pitch goes back, and Weber picks his way into the secondary and out across the 40 to the 43-yard line. A gain of 8 for Mitch Weber.
Monsoon season just moved into Hudson, Wisconsin.
It's also nice to be inside and away from the open windows.
Well, yeah, and yesterday you and I were, supposed to do a soccer game, kind of a long story there, but just huge rain last night.
With a little flip back, Weber to the line, spins ahead, very close to a Menomonie first down.
And again, we're going to do our best to keep the video, but it is coming down.
It's getting worse. It's getting worse. It's unbelievable.
My goodness.
Even the football gods are crying to see Newton Field to go away.
Yeah, and we're
Justin Evans.
And John Watkins, our camera guy from the River Channel, had to temporarily take the camera down. We got the picture back up here.
We get a flag that comes in late after Evans on the carry. Got the first down and a gain of 6, but This one is going to be stepped off against Menomonie. It'll remain a third down.
Just got a message in here, a lightning delay in River Falls. And of course, River Falls isn't only but 10, 12 miles from here. And well, now it's lightened up some. We got a traffic jam of people trying to get out of here. Oh boy.
So you say you live across the street.
I do.
I hope there's room on a couch or something.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Always.
So after the penalty is stepped off, it'll be 3rd and 10 Mustangs back at their 44-yard line. Handoff. And taken down after a gain of 8. It'll be 4th and 2. And once again, it's Evans on the carry as he continues to pile up the yardage. And then, John, that time they didn't even try to disguise it.
No.
We just said, no, we're going to run it here on 3rd and 10. We think we can get a first down or do it in 2 plays anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's, this is clearly a team that's put up 40-plus points. And Hudson defensively, which has had a pretty good season up to this point, is getting it taken to them.
4th and 2, power to the right. Little head bob, a little too much in my opinion from Labuda, but
yeah.
And now he'll call the timeout. Hudson defense does a nice job of not jumping there with the hard count. Stops the clock with 1:46 left to play in the quarter.
Now the rain seems to have died down, at least temporarily. It was coming down in sheets. I mean,
it looked like snow coming
yeah,
down.
it
was
did
so
actually,
thick.
and that's a couple months away, probably.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm a snow guy myself. I like the snow. I don't like snow in, October or whatever. But yeah, the game slipping away from the Hudson Raiders is still a possibility here, but. Just offensively, they really have not been able to sustain anything outside of the one drive where they were able to get their 7 points.
So Menomonie lines up to kick it away. Fourth and 2. Goodman to punt it away. High snap, Goodman
There
drops
it is.
it.
Now
he's going to
the
pick it up
opportunity.
and run. And he gets, he's going to be close. I think he's short, John. But
it depends where he went out of bounds.
Broken play. Hudson saying no, he didn't make it.
It all depends. I mean, and that's on the far side of the field, and it's where he went out of bounds, I guess. Obviously not a planned play. It was a broken play. They had every intention of punting, and wet football tonight with the rain, and I'm still not sure what they're doing here. Smart.
Oh, well short. Marked back at the original line of scrimmage. So this is going to be Hudson football. And finally they point Raider away.
Okay.
So
it was close.
Yeah, Menomonie has turned it over twice on downs. Hudson has turned it over on downs here this quarter. As the defense, with the help of some penalties, picking it up here.
Well, this is where it has to happen. It has to. We got the third quarter's almost gone.
Stubendick back in, jet sweep. Danielson with some room, a blocker in front of him into Menomonie territory, and a first down inside the 40, a gain of 15 yards for Cole Danielson.
It has to start somewhere. It has to start somewhere. And again, time is going to become an issue. We got a minute 30 to go in the third quarter. You work the sidelines. With the movement of chains, the clock does temporarily stop. You can leverage that as well. You just got to do it.
Riley Brown goes in motion, counterplay. Danielson cuts it back up into the middle, and Danielson to the 25 and is taken down at the 22 by the last man there. That's Goodman on the tackle.
And again, Hudson's got something going here inside the red zone. The first sustained offensive drive since their lone scoring drive. They got to score, but quick too.
Another 15-yard gain for Danielson.
Danielson coming out of nowhere. He's hasn't seen a lot of action this year. The sophomore.
The second string halfbacks are in those wingback positions, Danielson and Riley Brown. Brown in motion, he'll take it for the jet sweep. Cuts back up the middle, had a nice little seam inside the 20. And down to about the 17-yard line. That's a gain of 5 for Riley Brown. We're under a minute to play in the quarter.
Well, the hurry-up offense here. If they can pump it in here for the close of the half, or close of the quarter, excuse me.
Handoff, Squires trying to pick his way up the middle. Squires still on his feet, spinning. Going to be very close to a first down for the Raiders. Looks like he will get it. They'll stop the clock and check it, and there is the indication. It'll be 1st and 10 Raiders. Ball on the 11-yard line.
Okay, so they can get a first down inside at the 1, but that's really irrelevant. They gotta strike pay dirt here if they entertain any ability to pulling this out in the fourth quarter.
Just under 35 ticks.
The rain has stopped too, by the way.
In motion, Danielson, handoff Squires. Squires gaining some tough yards down inside the 10.
Squires on the carry.
They'll mark it at the 7, a gain of 4, brings up 2nd and 6. Under 20 seconds in the quarter.
Of course, both teams with their full complement of timeouts. Menomonie used all 3 of their timeouts in the first half. Hudson did not use any of theirs.
And a timeout taken by Menomonie.
Yep.
That stops the clock with an even 10 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Hudson banging on the door, trying to cut into a 28-7 deficit.
And the rain has stopped. It was a monsoon. I mean, for about, I don't know, what?
5 minutes?
5 minutes, maybe.
Lightning to the west.
Yeah,
it can stay there.
Yeah, and I thought we were out of the woods, potentially, because they talked about the forecast kept changing, and they would change and it would change again, and they were talking potentially about rain at the start of the game. It was a beautiful start, but apparently, the existing system off to the west making its way this way.
Well, it didn't chase any of the Menomonie fans away. It's still packed on the far side.
Oh, yeah. Wherever you are, we got to get the emails going here. You can click on the email us link in the game tracker screen. Let us know who you are, where you're listening from, who you're cheering for tonight. Hudson trying to claw their way back into this one.
Stubendink under center. Danielson in motion. He'll take the pitch. Cuts inside to the 5 and walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Hudson. 7-yard run, Cole Danielson.
Well, that's exactly what the Hudson Raiders needed. They were able to stop Menomonie on that punt attempt, the botched punt attempt. They stopped him with less than a yard, and they finally capitalized on something. Capitalized on a Menomonie miscue, really. And the Hudson Raider bleacher creatures coming to life. Hopefully it isn't too little too late. We still got a quarter of football here to go if the weather holds out.
Hilterbrand's kick is good. We've got 5.3 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Your new score reads Menomonie 28, Hudson 14. MSBN proud to bring you Hudson Raider football. Will be back after this message.
He's got this bad, but that was lightning before.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. Well, they're delayed in River Falls. But now it says here, as we get later, I don't know. Let's see. They've changed that thing so much.
Well, the Menomonie timeout, John, I like that Hudson was able to score on that play and still in the third quarter. There's something psychologically about only being 2 scores down going into the fourth.
I absolutely agree, but it's going to start. The offense had their first good, really solid offensive, sustained offensive possession, and did it with some kind of unlikely names. It wasn't Marvin and Burgess. It was Danielson. And, Squires had a couple nice runs, but who does it is irrelevant. It got done. and they closed the gap, cut it down to 28-14. Now it's the defense's turn to shut Menomonie down.
Little squib kick is just covered at the 24-yard line, and that's where the Mustangs will take over. There's a collision behind the play. Both players kind of looking at each other. That was a Cody Chica from Hudson and a Jaron Betcher from Menomonie that took a tumble.
I want to talk about the fundraiser for the Pearl Harbor trip here, and it's on Sunday, this coming Sunday, at Big Guys Barbecue Roadhouse in North Hudson between 1 and 4 as a fundraiser for the Pearl Harbor trip for the band. Check it out tonight on Sunday.
Weber very late getting onto the field. Labuda kind of ushers him in, and they fake it to him. Handoff Evans. He's got some room on the right side. Ran into a man, and boy, nice play on the far side. That'll do it for the third quarter. Gain of a 5 on the play. We'll pick it up. Actually, we'll keep it right here, folks. End of 3, 28-14, Menomonie.
So a little more information on the fundraiser event. The 75th anniversary of Pearl Harbor. The Hudson Band has been selected to march on December 7th. Incredible honors. Only 20 bands were chosen from around the country. And so to raise some money to be able to do this, a Hawaiian luau this Sunday, September 18th, at Big Guys Barbecue Roadhouse in North Hudson, just north of town. Join the band between 1 and 4. Great food, silent auction, giveaways. The pep band will be playing. Tickets available at the door, $30. If you didn't purchase them in advance, Big Guys Roadhouse, Big Guys Barbecue out there. Been out there a few times. Great, beautiful, nice big place. A lot of sports memorabilia, phenomenal food, and a great opportunity to support this wonderful Hudson marching band. They got new uniforms last year. They work very, very hard. I've seen them. They put on a great performance here at halftime, and get out there and support them. We got so many great things in this community. Our school system, and our sports teams, and our bands, and our downtown and whatnot. It's great to be a part of it. So get out and support them.
2nd and 5 Mustangs as we begin the fourth quarter, and flags and the referees were not set, so we'll set things back down and try to start this fourth quarter one more time.
Well, down by 2 scores, Hudson proved in that last possession they can move the ball, but unless they can stop Menomonie's offense, it's going to be too little too late. They're down by 2, so to make up the difference, you got to keep them right where they're at.
Little delayed handoff. Evans again, a big hole with that play, and he's out across the 40 for a Mustang first down, a gain of 12.
Evans runs hard.
Prior to that last drive, Hudson only had 3 first downs in this game. They now have 8 after that impressive scoring drive, but that was first down number 19 for Menomonie this evening.
Well, the offensive numbers that Menomonie put up in that first half were just, it was so one-sided. I think Hudson defensively has played better. They kept them off the scoreboard in the third.
I formation, handoff to the up man. And out to the 44-yard line goes Brogan before he's knocked backwards. A gain of 2. Devin Dalton on the stop.
The Hudson defense has got to get mean. You got to get aggressive. You got to say, we can't give up these first downs because the clock is our enemy and it's the friend of the Mustangs. The more that clock ticks away, the slimmer the chances of a Hudson comeback becomes.
Plenty of substitutions for Menomonie nearly every play. Bryce Marion checks in defensively for Hudson. Again, the I formation. Handoff. Evans pushes a blocker ahead and falls into Hudson territory. Gain of 5 for Evans.
And Menomonie isn't doing anything really that fancy. It's Menomonie football. It's physical football. We got, 3rd and... Well, that's a long one.
3rd down and a couple.
That run puts Evans at 171 yards rushing tonight on just 18 carries. And he gets it again, hitting the backfield, and he got past that.
All depends on the spot.
Hudson was thinking that ball came loose, but
All depends on the spot.
it did not, and it is a Mustang a first down.
Well, he got the surge late then, because Hudson had pretty good defensive penetration on that one, but they didn't need much. You know, they needed only a yard. It was a long yard, but it was obviously 3rd and short. Another score update coming in. 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Rice Lake 34-0 all over the Eau Claire North Huskies. Rice Lake Warriors continuing to impress. Another good season for the boys up north, and we'll be heading up there next week. There's a Menomonie timeout.
And Menomonie calls another timeout. This one with 9:35 left to play in the 4th quarter. They do lead at 28-14. They're 1st and 10 in Hudson territory at the 48-yard line. And well, I thought that was the 3rd timeout they'd called. I thought they called a timeout on 4th and 2 when they punted away. They called a timeout right before the end of the 3rd quarter, and now this one. But scoreboard says they've got one left.
We'll have to. Is that the 2nd timeout or the 3rd? They say 2nd.
Well, you know, I'll go back. My accounting degree means nothing. I can't count to 3. What do you want 2 and 2 to be? 3. Okay. I can't count that. Let's make it 2.
Creative accounting. I like creative accounting. All right.
Back to the action. Pitch coming near side. Goodman hit at the line of scrimmage and just kind of keeps on plowing ahead. And Goodman, they'll say, stays in bounds and picks up 3. 2nd and 7 coming.
You know, Hudson had pretty good pursuit on that. Now the rain's starting up again. But he was able to get a couple extra yards just on fighting there at the end.
You know, the wind kind of picking up too, driving from the west, angling that rain from right to left as you look along, and perhaps, and boy, it just really opened up one more time.
Now here we go again.